Good morning, Manayunk, and welcome to another episode of Manayunk Mornings at Home. Joining me on the show today is Glynis from Verdant Interior Designs. Glynis, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So for the folks at home who don't know, tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Well, Verdant Interior Design, it is a full-fledged interior design and interior architecture firm. We work on residential, commercial spaces, and restaurants. And we're based, in my favorite part of the city here in Manayunk.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about what makes your company different from other interior design firms.
What makes my firm different is that I practice in prior to sustainability, I call it holistic design, where I incorporate the client's needs, what's going on as far as current events, as well as looking at materials, architectural finishes that we can use in order to help sustain the earth. So that was always a goal that I had for many, many years. Also, too, what makes my firm different than other firms is that I incorporate technology into the projects that I work on as well.
Great. So give us some examples about how you bring sustainability into interior design.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things that I do in order to bring that. For example, if I'm working on a commercial space, let's say it's a restaurant or it's an office space, the client has a budget. We look at certain elements, number one, and two, let's repurpose the furniture. There are many ways that instead of buying brand new furniture, we can look at existing furniture or furniture that maybe someone else, another company may have had. They've gone out of business, they've moved on, that we can pretty much repair. Most of the furniture is pretty much in great shape anyway. Reupholster and reuse it for that office space. The same goes to restaurants as well. There's a lot of eateries, this is even prior to COVID, which required, of course, seating. Now we're looking at if they're requiring outside seating. So for establishments, restaurants that may have closed up, we will find if they have any inventory in stock, again, if they're booths, we will reupholster them. If they're seats, and let's say it's a different color, we will repaint them. And we have great furniture at a discounted price that's not new for a new restaurant establishment. Other ways that I look at as far as for sustainability within an office space is for commercial bathrooms. We look at plumbing fixtures just to make sure they use less water. Lighting is also a big feature where, of course, everyone is using LEDs as far as bulbs. But another concept that I have, I call it the smart office concept, where, for example, most offices, the lights are on pretty much sometimes 12 hours or more a day, even once workers are out of the office space. What I like to do, or what I normally do, is to, depending on that type of building, is to use enough lighting within the office space that's required, meaning that if it's a sunny day and if the office building has a lot of windows, we can actually gauge the lighting down in the office space and dim it down so that we're using more natural sunlight. So in that way, that saves energy, and it saves money for the building owner of that office space. Days where it's cloudy, again, we'll dim the lights up so that you still have full capacity of lighting within that space. But what I'm introducing is to, again, using natural sunlight, even in the commercial space, to be utilized so that you have a healthy balance of light, a healthy balance of well-being, and also it's less expensive and saving costs to the building owner.
That's awesome. So tell me, how has the coronavirus affected your business and your industry? Have you had to hurdle any challenges? Is there anything you had to change up about the way you go about your business?
At the time, prior to COVID-19 and the shutdown, I was working on designing a few restaurants. So we know what happened and what's happening to the restaurant industry. So, within a couple of days, I lost a lot of business because that industry can shut down, and and they're trying to figure out what's going to happen next as far as that industry. So I did face a little hurdle, but what that allowed me to do was to just make me stronger, to again market myself, and to not only that, but I also what I was doing during that time was to figure out, as a designer and as a design professional, what can I do to design spaces in this post-pandemic society. So I actually had written an outline on how to redesign your office, your commercial space during this pandemic, and I actually had sent that to several of my clients. I actually landed 2 projects because of that. And in the future, what I'm doing is any projects that I have, they're going to, with my design standards, it's going to be a post-pandemic design solution to all of my projects from now on.
So tell me, what do you love the most about having your business here in Manayunk?
Well, there's a couple of things. Well, number one is close to where I live. I live in East Falls, so I live actually 7 minutes away by car. And this is a love-hate. I love the restaurants here in Manayunk. I could walk out, to the, and get anything I want. The reason why it's not so good is because I had gained like 10 pounds since I had my office here in Manayunk. I like the food that much. It's a great location. I've always loved Manayunk. I do work in Philadelphia, and I do work in the main line and in Montgomery County. So for me to just drive and hop over to the main line, I'm there in a couple minutes. Center City, I'm there, in a pretty decent time frame. It's just a great location. And again, I've always loved the area, and I'm glad to be in Manayunk.
That's great. Have you had any clients in the Manayunk, Roxborough, East Falls area that you've worked with?
Well, yes. In the East Falls area, I actually had designed the La Bus East Falls restaurant. I think the owner used to own Winnie's at one point. So that was a great project. In Roxborough, I'm trying to think. Not yet, but actually right now in Manayunk, I am doing some residential design work for a couple of clients here in Manayunk since the pandemic.
Awesome. What are some of the greatest challenges you face now as an interior design firm in a post-COVID or in a COVID world, since we're still not really out of it just yet?
Right. Well, I think for any business or any small business, you have to stay current, and you have to look at the trends of what's going on, what's happening locally, nationally, and globally. That's the way I see it. Yeah, the post-pandemic situation has been a challenge, but my philosophy is that if I have lemons or limes, I'm going to make key lime pie or I'm going to make lemonade. So in one sense, yes, it's been a challenge as far as business. It's been a challenge as far as maybe meeting my clients face to face. It's been a challenge as far as, maybe that more personal type of interaction. But I'm looking at this in a positive way so that I want to be the person who creates a solution with design, with what's going on, and not look at this more as a problem, but looking how to figure this out so I can be an asset to my clients.
That's awesome. Well, enough about the business. Let me ask about you. What have you been up to during the whole stay-at-home order? Did you pick up any new hobbies? Were you watching anything good on Netflix, cooking anything? What were you doing?
No, I think I caught up with some Netflix, and I ate some quarantine food. I need to exercise, but just pretty much trying to take it a little easy. I think I really caught up on Netflix and some reading. So.
Well, before I let you go, I just want to wrap things up. What does the future have in store for Verdant Interior Designs? Is there anything you're working on further down the road or changes that you're looking to make?
I have planned to open up another office space internationally. So I have visited the United Arab Emirates. I have visited Dubai and Abu Dhabi about 3 years ago and met with quite a few architects and engineers there. I actually have contacts over in Dubai. Actually, there is another architecture firm. We talk, and even since COVID, we were talking prior to COVID through Zoom, and we keep in touch through Zoom once or twice a month. So we're planning on doing some projects together, and hopefully once everything sort of lifts up, I plan within the next 2 years, hopefully, prayerfully, to actually have a true office space in Dubai. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's exciting. Well, Glynis,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It was great catching up with you, and I hope to see you down on Main Street soon. Maybe we'll grab a bite to eat sometime, all right?
Oh, definitely. Just let me know where and when. I'll be there.
All right, Glynis, stay safe out there, all right?
Thanks. You too. Thank you.
Well, that's our show for today. It was great catching up with Glynis from Verdant Interior Designs. If you love this show, hit that like button wherever it is down there. Comment on the post. Share the post, why don't you? If you're on our YouTube page, be sure to hit subscribe. And if you want to watch the last episode, right here, click it. Click it.